ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Women Community Challenge 2018 at Cytex. We are currently situated at the Expo Convention Center Hall number 6. First off, a big shout out to our sponsors, GAM3ASIA, for the production, and obviously Owner for sponsoring this as well. 5 were brought to you by ViewQuest. And my name is always casting alongside me. I have Kay. How are you doing today?
Hi, I'm doing great. It's great to be back in this seat again. Today we'll be casting PUBG, Player Unknown Battlegrounds Mobile. Alright, so we have a lot of players here very excited to get the game started.
Yeah, obviously, and not only that, we are bringing you a lot of games only the next few days. For Saturday itself, we will be having Dota 2, and on Sunday we have Counter-Strike. Actually, it's the opposite around. On Saturday we will be Counter-Strike, and on Sunday it will be Dota 2. So do remember to catch on to that. Come on to the stream at the same timing, and we will have not really the same timing, but 11, and we'll have those streams up for you. But now we are currently in the loading zone. So before that, how do you think the players are feeling right now? I mean, obviously this being a community challenge, we might not be seeing the same level of competitiveness as compared to the global tournaments that we have. However, there's still plenty of prizes on the line for all the players involved. So not all the players, but the top, I believe, top 10? Top 6, is it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, top 6. So definitely a lot of prizes in store for these players. So I'm sure all of this, they all want a piece of those sweet gear that we are giving out after that. So let's just go through the rules that we have for today. So they will be playing all 3 maps available to PUBG Mobile. That will be 2 maps of Ranger, 2 maps on Miramar, and 1 map on Sunday. So which of the maps do you think will be the one to be that we have to look out for?
Well, with regards to that, I think we have to look out for Sunhawk, because that's the latest map that PUBG Mobile offers for our players here in Singapore. So the first 2 maps, like we've mentioned before, we have Irango. Irango is the first map that we have been able to play with for players in our region.
Absolutely.
So there's a lot of players. Most of the players will be very familiar with that map right now. So as you can see, we are moving on to the screen next. They are in the plane, and we will be looking at a couple of players dropping off early right here. So while we talk about, let's talk about some strats that generic players will have in PUBG itself.
Absolutely. I mean, on the side of Irango, we will be expecting a lot of cover as compared to other maps like Miramar. Not really Sunhill. Sunhill is pretty similar to Irango itself. However, Irango does provide a lot of buildings in between. You can see Pochinki over there near the hospital top, near towards Primos as well. So all these areas are areas to look out for, given the trajectory of the plane. You can see that most of the players are heading towards that Pochinki. Some of them towards the hospital. 1 or 2 outstrayers from there. We see Ranch over there down in the middle. But other than that, they are definitely going for the popular areas. This is where you really want to be early into the game, get a decent amount of lead, get those early kills. And if you notice on the top left corner of the screen, we only have 15 participants for this, so it's going to take a while. They will have plenty of time to lead up before we see some action. But let's just go through the prizes that these players stand to win throughout this tournament. So in first place, they stand to win $100 SGD cash dollars, and not only that, a gaming headset with touch control. In second place, they do get the $50, as well as gaming is in your headset. And not only that, in terms to 5th place, they will win $20 along with the wireless gamepad for each person involved. So those are your prizes for that. If you want to find out more details, you can head on down to GAM3ASIA's Facebook page, or we have all the information there, as well as Instagram. So let's just jump right in the game right now. We see Cypher, looking up pretty good at this point of time. He has that tier 2 armor. I love that tier 2 backpack over here. Other than not much, holding that MP. Let's just take a look at the other players for now. So Arctic over here is quite close by as well. Still hasn't really found a backpack. Speaking of which, he does pick up a level 1 backpack. So, which of these players do you find familiar, or have you seen any of these IGNs before?
Well, like you said, this is a community challenge, so most of these players I have not seen before. But right now, what we have on our hands here is a potential standoff between Arctic and Cypher, because they're very close to each other in the map.
Right, you can see they are currently looting. And like you said, they are pretty close towards one another. So if you notice, they are probably from the same gate. So a lot of these viewers are wondering what is happening. What will these gates, coincide with one another? Will they, work together to not kill each other and get more points off everyone? That will not be the case because we have admins looking out and alongside both of us to make sure that these two players, play out fair and square to make sure that the integrity of the competition is kept in place.
That's right. So as you can see, we only have 15 players today. So the map will be quite empty itself. So they have a lot of freedom to roam around the map.
Right, let's just take a look at the map currently. You can see a lot of these players still quite far out from one another. Even the two that are closest to one another are still quite a little bit of distance over there. We do see Chicken Run and Gekka itself. And for the rest of the place, I think this is where the bulk of the action will happen, which is where Chicken Grub is currently. You're going to see a lot of the players, especially from Mike Hyung, Jia, and us from the east side, west side coming right in. But we already see the first blood coming from Intwine, picking up the kill there. We missed it, however, that was a really, really early game, so a little bit unfortunate for that player. That's pretty early considering the fact that a lot of them dropped quite far away from one another.
That's right. It's quite unfortunate here that they have run into each other in such an early stage of the game. This is still the first circle of the game. So you can see here we have quite a bit of action happening between the two players now, which unfortunately we missed. But here we can see on the bottom right hand side of the map we have 3 players here, Jia, Miko and us. They are around the same region itself. So 2 of the players are in the red zone. This is the bombing zone for players that they're not really familiar with PUBG Mobile. So let's do a short rundown of what happens in the game itself. So in the red zone here, you can see it's actually the bomb zone where bombs will actually frequently fall on that place. So players tend to avoid that in case they get hit by a bomb.
Right, it's a fully RNG system over there. So there are players that take a lot of risks to go into the open, especially for professional players. If you realize they do not entirely avoid the zone itself. In fact, they do love the zone because you're kind of like forcing the opponents to one corner of the map, and you can get those fights in your favor. However, this being a solo game means there's no revive available to other players. Once you're out, you're out. But we will be playing on a best of 5 flight, so we will be having those scores tabulated in between the games, and that's where we will be able to determine the winner. So not only do the points or rather the position matter, the amount of kills as well. The more kills you get, the more points you will. So it's kind of like a relationship between whether or not you want to hide, what kind of strategy you want to pull off, especially for a Rango. Hiding will be quite a good strategy as compared to being so aggressive, because when you move on to Miramar, you have less shelter and less cover as well, and that's where you see more firefights, especially on open plates.
That's right. As you can see here, we have Jia, who is in a vehicle. So having a vehicle itself, there's pros and cons for it. You get to move around the map very, very quickly, but at the same time, the noise that you generate from moving around, will alert your other fellow comrades in the game itself, saying that, I've arrived and I'm here for the taking.
I'm here to show the world who's boss. But right, we have Jia doing exactly just that, going right for it. And I think, speaking of game mechanics, you mentioned a little bit about the zone itself. Another interesting thing is that in PUBG, not only in mobile, they have those care packages and loot packs. So the moment they land ground, generally they will have a decent amount of armor, and not only that, the equipment is needed to improve in terms of firefight. So I'm sure players will be looking at that as well. It obviously comes with a high risk, high reward system. There will be a couple of players going for it, especially for those aggressive players who want to upgrade their kit. So that's where we will be seeing a good fight. Arctic over there taking out Cypher down in the middle of Pochinki. Second kill for him already in this game.
And a nice teabag there by Arctic. I hope that is not intentional.
That's definitely intentional.
Good BM there from Arctic itself. As you can see, let's take a look at the map here. We have a lot of players centralized around the same area more or less. But we have one guy who is all the way in 70 here, Mr. Damchimbra. Let's take a look at him right now.
I think it wasn't really teabagging. I think he was picking up items from the back.
Alright.
That sounds more
let's go with that. Let's go with that, right. Let's go with that, no teabagging.
So I see Damchimbra about actually, if you look at his kit, it's pretty good at this point of time. He has a tier 3 helmet, tier 2 armor, despite having only a tier 1 back. But looking at it, he's definitely ready for a fight this point of time. He has that AK and a shotgun as well. So one thing that I would like to point out for a lot of players is that for the amateur players, they don't really like shotgun because you have to be accurate with that gun. However, in terms of maps like Rango, especially when you leave it all the way to the end, you get into really close combat, close quarter combats. Especially towards the last 5 to 1 minute of the game, and this is where shotguns come in really handy, around those tight corners, especially behind the tree itself. This is where shotgun is so important, and I think my production has just pointed out that's a sniper rifle. But my point still stands, shotgun definitely will come in handy, especially towards the later part of the game, where you have a lot of damage packed into one shot as compared to having a rifle, which is definitely the gun that you will want in Miramar.
That's right. So as you can see, the first air package has actually dropped in the center, quite close to the center of the circle, and there are players moving towards it. So we might have some action here. We have Pancake and